Tonight we have, and like to say I'm excited is an understatement. We have in the house with us MaxxChain. Nayan has kindly come along and taken a little bit of time out of his super mental busy schedule and is going to be telling us all about the pure gem, in my opinion, not financial advice, probably degen financial advice, that is MaxxChain. Nayan, are you there, my lovely?
Yes, I'm here.
Amazing. Okay, let's get this show on the road. In traditional Jesse Degen style, I asked you to come prepared with a joke. You said you got a very bad joke. That's good because we're used to bad jokes. So make us laugh.
So, why don't scientists trust atoms?
I don't know. Why don't scientists trust atoms?
Because they make up everything.
That's a dad joke. That's a proper dad joke. I know you're a dad, and all. So
Yes.
I don't know what else I would do.
It's been getting worse with every child. Yeah.
Thank you, Nayan. Thank you. Okay. Would you like to introduce us to yourself and
Yes.
just give us a little bit of your background and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, of course. And I see KP's joined. If you want to give him.
Amazing. Mario, can you unmute KP, please? I don't. Hold on. No, go on. You introduce yourself. Go. We'll work it out. Don't worry.
Yeah, there you go. I see he's good. So, so my name is Nayan Patel. I'm the co-founder of MaxxChain. In terms of my crypto experience, I've been in the space for several years now. Started with Bitcoin, Ethereum, all those big name ones, and jumped into the DeFi space. In about 2017, 2018, one of my first big runs on the BSC chain was with SafeMoon. A buddy of mine got me into it, and I just remember the whole process of going to Pancake Swap, opening this wallet, transferring this there and that. It was the most fucked up process I've ever seen in my life. But I decided, let me put in a couple grand in there and just see what happens. I don't know. I was feeling special, and lo and behold, I mean, we saw. I was lucky to catch the start near the start of SafeMoon, so I saw it going up like absolutely crazy. And when you're looking at stocks on a regular day, and you're looking at a couple percent here and there, and then all of a sudden you jump into crypto and you're seeing like crazy 10, 20x gains, you're going crazy. So luckily enough, I did decide to cash out most of it, right? As it was going up. I could have probably made a lot more, but I was hooked into DeFi.
Could have lost a lot more as well, though.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy with what I was able to take out of there. But yeah, no, I decided to do a lot more research into the BSC space at the time, and it's where I met KP and several other like-minded investors and stuff, and we started commingling and investing in similar projects. And during that time, I've come to know a lot of people. I was modding in several groups, and you see all projects and how they go up and down and what they do right and wrong, and a lot of them are not here today. There was a time where you're just throwing money out at any project just to see what happens, and it became very, very, very much like a casino. You're gambling. And then everything shot down the shitter back in what was it, early 2022, late 2021, and everybody's thinking, okay, it's gonna come back, and shit hit the fan then.
That's so funny, Nayan. I mean, it sounds like you and I have been around about the same sort of time. I got in just after the COVID dump, and I bought Bitcoin at like 4K and Ethereum at $300, and I was that new and hadn't got a clue what I was doing. And I was like, oh, this thing's really expensive, not knowing, oh, this is a real gamble. And then as it got closer and closer to Christmas, I kept watching the charts and was like, fucking hell, this is absolutely mental. It was just after Christmas that I discovered ERC20. I got in on the back of Uniswap, Sushi Swap, and I really liked DeFi, but I couldn't understand how I couldn't make any money out of it because of gas fees. I just kept getting and then I discovered BSC, and then it was all over. Then it was all over. My background a little bit different. I didn't really get into the shit coins at the start. It's been later as I've got more degenerate, I guess. I got into yield farming. The same, made a lot of money, and same, lost a lot of money as well. So it's interesting, and like you, yeah, you know, those of us that have been here for a cycle.
Yeah, well, you know, oh, sorry, going. Was someone else that was KP talking there?
No. Go ahead.
No, yeah, no, I was gonna say, you know, it was a very interesting time, and you know, you see a lot that was done right, a lot that was done wrong, and things that you could have done better. So all these experiences kind of tie hand in hand, and you know, my real life experience, I'm a CPA certified accountant here in Canada. I've been working for one of the largest corporations in Canada for over 12 years. I oversee one of the payroll systems here, so I oversee a monthly payroll of almost $100 million, and I deal with, you know, a lot of projects and business management here. So I bring a lot of experience to the table on that front because I think a lot of crypto projects are missing a lot of that managerial experience. There's a lot of great ideas here, a lot of great teams, but there's a lot of them are missing the glue. A lot of them are missing the pieces. And I think, you know, when KP gives his background, you'll see there's a lot that both he and I bring to the table that I think mesh well together. You know, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all the work that KP had put in as well. And we have a lot of other individuals on the team that helped us get to where we are as well. So I think it's been a great team effort. We're not shy to say, you know, we're not devs. We are not devs. We're for now, we will never be a dev, but we're great at finding, you know, the professionals in each different area to help us succeed. So we look at this as a business, and I mean, there's a long story behind how MaxxChain was born, and we can go through all that. But I think it's time to let KP introduce himself.
I'd like to hear a little bit of the history.
Yes.
JP, if you're there, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi there, absolutely. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. So yeah, I go by KP in the space. My real name is Kevin. I have been in crypto since 2016. I caught the first kind of exciting bull run for Bitcoin, roughly around 5,000 to 6,000 before it ran up to 20K. I mean, it was a little bit late on it, but I you know, was part of that kind of excitement with that leading into Christmas with a blow off top around 20K. And then obviously, you know, I did sell right around 16,000. And, you know, for me, tripling my money was in such a short amount of time was unbelievable, because as Nyan said, with stocks, you know, it's almost like a snail's pace when you're investing in that. And it was exciting, but obviously I had to learn the hard way and experience my first real bear market. I actually you know, bought back in again at 12,000, thinking that it's going to go, you know, to these astronomical numbers that everybody kept hyping it up with. And then obviously, you know, it went all the way back down to 3,000, but I held. And I started, you know, really researching crypto in general, and just Bitcoin and the cycles, and, you know, the halvings, and how the entire supply shock and demand, you know, would work, and so forth. So I said, okay, well, this is a good price, I guess, to dollar cost average in, and let me start accumulating. And that's what I did. I started accumulating, you know, and then eventually we popped off into 2019 with a hell of a comeback back to 14,000. And, you know, I sold a little bit there and took some profits. And that's when I really got into trading. And I was trading on Bybit, and I was trading with leverage, and I started learning technical analysis. And for probably the better part of, like, you know, a couple of years, that's all I did. I just traded Bitcoin. And also would increase my holdings, and would, you know, find ways to accumulate more. And you know, I'd buy OTC over the counter, you know, or, you know, spot market in Coinbase. I did catch that dip for COVID right around 4,000. I loaded up a lot over there, and I just basically stopped buying right after it hit 10K, and it finally surpassed it. And, you know, then the rest was history, right? But I also knew that coming into a market cycle peak was going to be the opportunity to take profits. So I actually started selling off Bitcoin, and I also bought some Ethereum at that point, before that run up around $250, and right around 50,000 and to about 3,500 is when I started selling off my holdings there to cash out. So I've learned a thing of two when it comes to the market cycle. And obviously in 2021, you know, I was introduced the same way into DeFi with SafeMoon, and obviously that was pretty insane. And I think that's also where I learned a lot about liquidity and so forth, and thin or, you know, and how to actually really engage within the space. I think that's where the entire degening really was kind of born, because that the whole degen idea was not even existent back in 2017, 18, 19, when I was actually in the space. But you know,
it started with BSC, really.
Right. Well, it really started with BSC, to be honest with you. And I think kind of SafeMoon kind of kicked it off. But you know, and then you had all the meme coins started coming out. You know, I mean, Doge was always around, and then obviously Shiba, you know, really kind of put the meme world on the map for good. But that's where I met Nyan in 2021, and you know, we started investing in certain projects, and you know, we would invest in utility projects, and you know, some were really good, and we would experience what it'd like to, you know, be part of a good core team. You know, invested in a project with a good core team, and you know what they would do right, and then we would also, you know, take some gambles here and stuff like that. So you know, we just started talking a lot about, you know, opportunities within the space, because I kept telling Ian, like, you know, come this next bear, I'm like, everybody's gonna just freak out, but you need to understand, we need to find opportunities for us to, like, you know, capitalize
building the bear.
Exactly. Nobody wants to buy the bottom. Everybody wants to always buy green, right? But obviously, buying red in a project that's going to be sustainable is actually where the real money's made. So
absolutely. That's a lovely segue, and it's interesting because you guys are both obviously very seasoned in the space, and you have real life experience with stonks and all that kind of stuff. But you know, I came in fresh, I didn't have any of that. I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. Number just keeps going up a lot. It just seems like wherever it's chucking money, it's just like, wow, monopoly money. But like, I have a different experience to you with trading, but obviously you had some experience in that anyway. But that was where I first tried to make money in CZ's lovely casino, as I call it, Binance Casino. And CZ hates me. I just get wrecked. I just like just like stupid 30x leverage, and then I'm wrecked within 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. But let's come back.
You have to be careful when it comes to that. But yeah, so I mean, and as far as my professional career, what I do in the real world, I actually have worked for the company I work for over a decade now in the United States. I'm in logistics and transportation. I joined this organization when it was probably around a $30 million annual revenue company. As of today, it's about $2 billion in annual revenue, and we have grown into multiple offices across the nation. My team itself has grown, and I've grown, you know, and promoted individuals into certain aspects of what my actual customer base requires in terms of service and so forth. My background is in organizational development and also change management. So, you know, a lot of what I bring to the table, is in regards to strategy of how do you scale, and how can we scale this project, and how can we scale this blockchain. So, as Nyan said, we're not devs. The perspective that we bring is more of that business entrepreneurial mindset of taking something and actually adding all the necessary pieces you are required to promote growth. So that's what.
And that's amazing. Yeah, and you're right. Something that Nyan said earlier caught my attention. And, you know, there are so many, once you get through all this scumminess and just bullshit, there are lots of very clever, innovative space with amazing ideas, building things that are incredible. But I think you're right. It does start to fall apart especially when things start to get real and blow up, because people don't necessarily have that experience in business. So that's really interesting. You two got so much of that to bring to the table. So am I right in thinking that KP, you and Nayan are kind of like the project leads of MaxxChain?
Yes, that's a good analogy if you want to put it in that perspective. I mean, you know, our goal is we have a vision, we have an idea of how to get there. Now it's a matter of fact of, you know, how do you put all the pieces together, and then obviously with regards to also, you know, financial ability to get there. And that's why Nine, being an accountant, helps tremendously to ensure that we are organized and we are efficient with regards to
The
costs.
numbers.
Yeah, because, you know,
So you
we're
have
running this
someone
as a business, right? So
yeah. And tokenomics is so critical, especially in big projects scope like you have in MaxxChain. I mean, I have some experience, first projects that I founded and led, like you guys. No, I'm not a dev by any means. Don't trust me with code solidity, not smart contract. Don't want to go anywhere near anything like that. But I mean, I was green and I fell down because and my team were green as well. You know, we came from the community. We did quite well, but we didn't have the understanding of the economics, of the tokenomics, and that's where we fell down. That is really, really critical. So you have Nayan on board doing that, right? I want to bring Nayan back in. Do you want to share with us a little bit of the history of MaxxChain? Because I know you come from previous, like many of us, I think it's a rite of passage by this point. We all come from bad experiences. Those that come through it hopefully build and create good from that. Do you want to share a little of your history of how MaxxChain was conceived, let's say?
Yeah, no, of course. So it goes back to late 2022 when KP, myself, and a few other investors here, a few investor friends of ours, found this other project called Ethereum 2.0 on the Ethereum network. And I never touched anything outside BSC at that point. And, you know, we all threw in a little bit of money and found out that, you know, this is a project that was looking to launch their own layer one. And we thought, hey, this is cool. We're getting at the ground floor of a brand new layer one. Let's see where this goes. It was called Proof of Memes, and they launched their mainnet, and, you know, projects were launching, the ecosystem was thriving, and the community was hyped. It was a really cool experience to be part of, because so many people were just, you know, so excited about it, and projects were launching left and right. And I decided, let me throw my hand in there too and just launch a token just for fun, just to see what happens. So I launched a token, put in $350 worth of liquidity, $700 market cap, and lo and behold, it started growing really quickly. I mean, I was being very open with the community. I didn't, you know, reveal my identity to anybody. Just, you know, I pretend to be some random dev, and it just by community trust, it was going up. And then on the way up, I was telling KP, I'm like, hey, check it out. This is me. And he was like, holy shit. So he jumped in too. And then as it was going up, I think it went up to a 50K market cap, and we're like, hey, we can really run with this. So the contract was renounced. So we thought, let's do a V2. We were able to pull back 99% of liquidity. I revealed my identity to let people know it was actually me behind this, and it started flying. It got a lot of attention on chain. I think all-time high, we were at like $1.5 million market cap, which might have been a little inflated because of the things that happened on that chain. But regardless, what happened was the founder of that chain just decided basically to rug the chain. So he delisted their native coin from MEXC, and everything we put into PoM and Max on that chain was basically worth nothing. So KP and myself decided, okay, well, we can try to take over the chain, because it's a proof of work. We thought of doing that. We spoke to the founder of that chain, and we tried working with him. Didn't work out, and we just pivoted and thought, you know what, fuck it, let's just start our own chain. And prior to this, we were thinking, okay, well, we're going to try to help bring more people to the chain, and we're going to deploy Max tokens on BSC and Ethereum networks, and kind of bridge the three together so that we can bring users from those chains onto PoW Chain. While all this was happening in terms of the rugging and us having nothing, we were in the middle of our pink sale pre-sale for our BSC token. So I was kind of thinking, do we need to stop this? Should we keep going? And when we decided, we spoke with our devs and thought, okay, well, we're going to do our own blockchain. And we just kept moving forward with those plans. So every day we were going through a whole new pivot. I think that was back in mid-April. And I think within it was 5 weeks, we had everything ready in terms of development of a blockchain, and doing everything we need to do in between, in terms of marketing and speaking to different people in order to get everything in line and put together. And we kind of pushed out our roadmap a little bit to get things settled, and here we are today. So we have, from that, we were able to recreate a brand new blockchain. We have our Max tokens on BSC and ETH. We just recently launched on MaxxChain as well. We have so many projects that we've been talking to that are going to be launching on chain. We have a bunch of projects from the previous chain that were, they brought a lot of utilities and stuff, but they were neglected. And we thought, if you're bringing great utilities to the chain, we're going to bring the spotlight to you. So we're bringing a lot of projects from there back to this chain, and putting their utilities in the spotlight. We want to help others because we've lived through it and we've gone through it in terms of, being rugged several times and having our own project rugged in a sense. We thought, we can make this space better, and we're going to take baby steps, but the way we're doing it is we're treating it like a business. We're being respectful with the community, being honest with the community, and doing what we can to help other projects and users around us. And knowledge is a big thing. Even today, you came with the question about market cap, and if it being higher or lower, isn't it better? If you're burning, wouldn't it go higher? But a lot of these things go over some people's heads, and they don't know what really happens in the background. So I think education is very important, not only to bring new users in, but the current users that are around us, they don't know enough about what they're actually investing in. So that's a lot of what we're working on, and we're proud of where we've gotten to so far.
Yeah, and I want to say big up. And I mean, it's no secret, but like I've been lurking in the background for a little while now. It was actually Safu Max guys that came over and started piqued my interest to start with. That was like a couple of months ago or something, when they first got together and started doing some stuff. And since then, and to watch you over the past few weeks, the way that you've deployed your mainnet and the sense of community, the people that you've got over there, the way that you're doing things, it's really got me. It's really got me. And I've said it, and I'm not even joking. This gives me real feels. Yes, see, I was here like early part of 2020, like January. I started getting into BSC and all that, and it's got the same kind of, I don't know, the same energy, the same, and it's nice. And you're right, education is so important in this space, because it's a fact of life, isn't it? I don't think there's anybody that's been here for any amount of time that hasn't been rugged or suffered some form of exploit or whatever, however you want to just dress it up in some way or another. So yeah, I just want to say big up for that. I mean, that's a really nice history. So to me, MaxxChain is kind of like the phoenix rising from the ashes of the shit show that was PoW Chain, right?
Yeah, you can say that. I think, let's just say we had more opportunities presented to us at every step of the way to be those easy outs and say, you know what, I quit. I can't do this. We can't do this anymore. Okay, we're faced with this obstacle. It's over. So there were more opportunities to take that easy road out and just give up. But we were persistent, and probably also, naive to believe that, no, this is not the way this story is going to end. And whether anybody's going to believe us that we're going to do this or accomplish this or not, it means nothing. We just need to do it. We need to let our actions speak for themselves. and we owe ourselves, you know, the effort to just keep going as much as we can. Because I mean, you know, even when we launched Max ETH, you know, we did a pink sale on for our Max Ethereum token, and it bombed. You know, I mean, we set a soft cap and a hard cap out there. We never hit a soft cap, and you know, we spent a bunch of money on AMAs and marketing, and you know, that went down the drain. So we were like, okay, what do we do? So we pivoted and reached out to our core network of people, and we threw some money in ourselves as well to just go ahead and get some funds together for LP. And we're just going to stealth launch, right? And at least now that was a successful
You've got a decent market cap over there, haven't you? What's your market cap on Max?
It's ranged anywhere from, you know, both tokens have ranged anywhere from 200 to 300,000 right now. And obviously, you know, they were doing just fine before we saw this dip in the market where, you know, BNB went down to 210, and obviously that it's going to drag down your pair, right? Same with Ethereum. Oh. It touched 1,500 from 1,900, and that dragged down the pair there as well. But you know, they're ranging right around 200,000 now, and you know, it's not the liquidity is still good. You know, I think our LP is roughly anywhere somewhere around 40,000 or something like that, 40 to 50,000. So we feel good about them, and you know, those tokens are very crucial to the entire ecosystem with regards to the chain, because the way they feed into the chain themselves. We have successfully set up a way for us to have tokens on BSC and Ethereum, and those holders can stake their tokens and earn a form of reward called Power D. D stands for dummy token, but that dummy token can be bridged over with our bridge into our mainnet, and you will receive wrapped power, which you can unwrap it, and then boom, right there and there. We're creating holders on our chain just by taking holders from other chains, because you know, at this point in time, you have to understand our goal right now, when you look at it from a business perspective, is all about attaining market share. So when you have to look at where's the market share and where's the liquidity, obviously BSC and Ethereum are the two biggest right now. So how can we chunk out market share out of that liquidity?
You need to do a sushi.
Exactly.
You need to do a sushi on it. Suck it. And this is one of the things that's got my attention. It's obviously, you know, I mean, all about the tech, of course. I joke. I mean, I kind of get it. And this is why I really like what you're doing, because I see the way that you've deployed your chain, and you've done it very differently to my experience of many other chains, both layer 1s and layer 2s, where they tend to deploy their chain and they have nothing there for ages. It's just a chain. You can't actually do anything. You just have a native token on there, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Nine and I have been part of those projects before. We, you know, invested in other chains, and usually what they do is they'll launch their token on Ethereum or BSC, call themselves a blockchain project, and then they will launch mainnet, but then mainnet has no activity on it because nobody, you know, there's no holders, there's nobody holding the actual coin itself. And then you probably have to figure out how to migrate everybody over, and what if the migration doesn't work? And then you probably have to incentivize people with free stuff, which then that does not do well, because usually free stuff ends up, you know, in a red candles at some point. So, you know, we definitely
exactly. But you've done it. I was trying to explain this to one of my Pulse Maxi friends the other night. I'm like, when you coming over to MaxxChain? It's like, Pulse chain. It's just another EVM clone. I'm like, nah, careful, because like I tell you what, it's a bit like Pulse Chain is another EVM clone, except unlike Pulse Chain, they've already got everything working. Everything's there. The swap's there. The scanner's there. The route across is that, I don't know. Has your bridge come online yet? Has that happened, or is that still?
Our bridge is there, but sorry, go on, KP.
Yeah, no, I was gonna pretty much say what you were gonna say. So we have our own bridge right now that will be basically a token bridge. So basically more for projects that want to cross-chain launch over into our chain. But then we have a secondary bridge that's coming that is considered an anonymous asset bridge. That is the bridge that is going
to blend, right?
Yes, that's the one that is going to be block blend, which gives you the ability to actually cross-chain swap your Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Kronos, AVAX, Phantom, I think maybe Cardano, and a few other assets. If you hold any of those assets as a crypto investor and you want to come into our mainnet and receive Power Coin, you'll be able to bridge those assets over and receive Power Coin, which
That's
then in
amazing.
turn, what we've done is we set it up in a way where, you know, eventually also some of that volume will actually have to get, because the bridge will actually have liquidity in it. But if we do it right, where we create demand, where the inflows outweigh the outflows, which we hope they do, we will have to then rebalance the actual you know, the power that's on the bridge. And the only way to do that is to go out in the market and actually get purchase power. So we're hoping that some of that volume is going to also hit CoinStore, which is the market that Power is listed on right now and has the only place for source price evaluation. So we'll see some volume there too, because, you know, not everybody wants to go on an exchange and buy the coin. Some people just want to stay in DeFi, and we know of several people that are just waiting to attain Power just by when we bring that DeFi bridge online. So we are excited about that because I think it is all about creating these eases of access to our chain. So, you know, that's part of us as infrastructure builders of the chain. You know, that's our due diligence to ensure that these projects that are launching have a way to promote to their communities. Like, okay, I do like what you're building here. I want to get into your project. How do I get Power? Okay, here you go. Go to their bridge and you can bridge in as much BNB, Ethereum you want, or whatever. And then once you attain it, you're more than welcome to engage in our pre-sale or private sale, or just if we're live, just go ahead and self-launch, you know, and then buy into us. So that's what we're working on.
There's lots of activity already, isn't there? How many projects do you have? How many real projects do you have live over there?
I think there's 6 or 7 that have now launched, and that's what I mean since.
Did Max Doge just launch, like literally as we were coming on air?
Max launched. It launched a few days ago. We actually, you know, that we airdropped. So that's Max on MaxxChain is basically the entire holder base that we had when we used to be on PoW Chain. So out of that whole entire shit show, we basically snapshot our holders there that did invest in us when we were on that chain, that also invested in our Max BSC projects in Ethereum, and have been these individuals and faces that have always been with us for quite some time. So we launched the Max. We airdropped their previous holdings they used to have on the old chain that they invested into us. And, you know, we launched a little bit higher market cap than the BSC and Ethereum, I think roughly 450,000. We did expect a bit of a sell off, and it wasn't that bad, but price just basically came back to exactly where BSC and ETH is, you know, from an arbitrage perspective.
So is Max going to be the same value across chains? So you can, I mean, how's that going to work? I was trying to get my head around it the other night.
So that's the bridge that we have, our own bridge. What we are going to do is we're going to open up the bridge that will basically give you the ability as a holder of that token, whether you hold it on MaxxChain or BSC or on Ethereum, you'll be able to bridge your holdings into either chain. And that depends if you want to do it and take advantage of any price discrepancy or arbitrage opportunities, saying like, hey, you know what? MaxxChain price is 20% higher than the price on BSC. I'm going to bridge in and go over there and maybe take some profits, or I'm going to, you know, sell here and then go over there and buy because it's lower. So we're going to create this ecosystem where it's going to promote volume, trading volume. It's going to also generate fees within the bridge for us in terms of revenue. And, you know, the idea of it is an ecosystem within an ecosystem, because don't forget that our Max tokens on BSC and Ethereum, with the taxes are 3% buy, 6% sell. All the taxes collected from BSC and Ethereum are collected and sent to CoinStore, converted, and then we use that USDT to actually buy Power Coin, thus helping additional volume out for our blockchain coin. Then we take that Power Coin and then we put it in staking pools to reward those people that are being staked on Max BSC and ETH.
Okay, I mean, like, yeah, I can see it all. So, is there a transaction tax on Max?
Yeah, 3% buy, 6% sell across.
No, but I
all
mean,
three
for say when people are sending it across
Yeah.
chain, for example.
No,
Yeah, there'll
nothing.
be a bridge
Oh,
fee.
sorry, cross-chain. Yeah,
There'll be
sorry.
there'll be a bridge fee. Nine, what did we decide on that bridge fee? I can't remember yet if we have come down
I
to a
think
number yet or not.
I think it was around 2% or 1.5%, but I think it's 2%.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
I think. I mean, we
Yeah.
haven't finalized it because we haven't gotten to that point yet. Since we're running around with a whole bunch of other stuff just right now, but when we do bring that live, I believe we'll keep it around 2% because especially with the token taxes on its own. I mean, we want people to jump between the chains, but with the token tax itself plus the bridge tax, people are going to have to analyze to see if it's worth it for them to jump across. But we'll try to make sure it's as competitive as possible.
Yeah, and also, I mean, this is really interesting because I'm a big fan of having different liquidity pools in different places, just within one chain. But you literally have, by this system, 3 liquidity pools on 3 separate chains. So that's going to then open up, I mean, obviously retail arbitrage if people are fast enough and can beat the bots. But once you get established, those bots are going to be chewing away every time they see an opportunity to make a little bit of profit, which is going to keep generating income for your whole ecosystem to feed it, right?
That's correct. Because all the taxes that we collect are refed back into that Max ecosystem. Like I said, the taxes collected in BNB and Ethereum,
Yeah.
we take those taxes and we go out and we buy PowerCoin out on the exchange. So that volume, so if volume increases dramatically, let's say for our Max tokens on BSC and Ethereum, it could increase the price of power dramatically over time because all that additional taxation is being fed into purchasing PowerCoin in order for us to fill the staking pools on those tokens and then reward the actual holders with a native coin of the chain.
It's genius. It's mad genius.
Let's just say on average. Let's just say on average between the 2 BSC and ETH tokens, we can average volume of, let's say, even $50,000 a day between the two. I mean, I know right now we're not seeing that type of volume, but I mean we're really just beginning. But if we can see $50,000 worth of volume through the arbitrage and everything on the 2 tokens on a daily basis, I mean that gives us an average of what, $4,000 or $5,000 to put into the buying power on CoinStore for PowerCoin, just from those tokens alone. So I mean, we want this to be kind of self-sufficient in that sense.
Yeah, I've already been noticing some really juicy looking arbitrage opportunities between CoinStore. I want to say as well, I'm not a fan. I hate centralized exchanges with a passion, but they're a necessary evil sometimes. And of course, I wanted to come and play in the Max ecosystem.
Yeah, I'll be quite honest. I mean, the only reason why we went, I mean, when you're doing something on this level, like a blockchain with a blockchain coin, I mean, a CEX is usually, one of the items on the checklist. Is it?
Yeah, you have to have it.
And,
it's necessary.
Yeah,
but what I want to say is
that
process for me was really painless. It was like, it literally took me about 5 minutes. It did take 24 hours, which I was a bit pissed about because they won't let you withdraw for 24 hours. So I got power sat over in CoinStore and like, oh, I want to get it out and ape some. I had to wait.
Yeah, it is
but I mean, the
unfortunate
actual
in that
process
sense.
of signing up for the account is really painless. So
we did speak to some different ones, and we wanted to have one where it provides an easy on and off ramp for people and not have to KYC and jump through hoops. And I know these locks are more of a safety measure for a lot of these CEXs because of what happens out there, and unfortunately, that's what we have to go through sometimes. But as we grow, we are going to try to make it as simple as possible for users to get their hands on power, and if they want to get rid of it. Same thing.
So when when block, is it block bend or block blend? Block blend, I get names.
Yeah, block blend.
So when they come online, that's going. I've already done my research. It's going to cost $6 flat fee, and then between 0.05% to 0.1% of each total transaction is going to be their fee. So I mean that's quite reasonable, really. I've been through bridges that have, in the early days when I hadn't got a clue what I was doing, I ended up coming back to ERC20 and having like a few bucks worth of tokens, having spent 50-60 bucks on gas and fees to bridge over.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's not.
So full transparency, I will say one thing, and that's only because of our stage of infancy. Right now, the hot topic on the table is liquidity within the chain. It is imperative that we are in a surplus in terms of liquidity entering the chain versus liquidity exiting the chain. So the initial fees for that bridge in the beginning are going to actually be 2% to bridge in, and they're going to be 5% to bridge out. And those fees will get reduced when we actually feel that there's confidence within the market that liquidity is coming in and staying, because we need to keep the liquidity in the market. So I do want to just at least disclose that the fees will be higher than what Block Blend's initial fees are.
Right, I see. Yeah.
I'm only doing that, and we only deciding to do that because we want to ensure that, as I said, that the liquidity is staying within the ecosystem rather than it exiting, and that's one of the key things that you have to combat as a new chain with regards. We could have easily said, you know what, let's set up this bridge and we're only going to allow inflows and no outflows, right? But in the end of the day, we also want to be showing some trust in what we're building to the community, that, hey, we're not going to restrict you from bridging out, but it may cost you a little bit extra. Now, the fees that will be coming out of the bridge exiting, is 5%. Those will be collected in PoW, which will probably give us the ability to do some things with it, with regards to maybe we're going to probably burn a portion of it to keep the inflationary aspect of the chain, because obviously the chain is a proof of work. So miners are mining and bringing in new supply daily, but it is a fixed amount with regards to how many coins per day per block. So that will combat that. And, when all things are running with regards to the power that's collected and the fees from the swap and from the farms and the pools, when we open those up, and our bridge and also this block blend bridge, the chain will actually be in a deflationary status in terms of, the amount of supply that's being mined by the mining community. Other than that, as I said, we will reduce the fees when we see that there is a sustainability within the ecosystem. But there is going to be the option to come in and come out regardless.
Amazing. And this is another thing that I looked at as well. I saw that. And there's an easy way as well. If you can go through CoinStore, power back and forth. Now, this is what I'm really interested in. So you're actually deploying, or you have already, I've seen a little bit of liquidity for stablecoin MUSDT. Is that going to be available to buy on CoinStore as well?
No, not currently. The reason why is because in order for us to create a stable, the only way we want to do it is actually bridge in USDT to the chain. But in order for us to do that, we want to have we want to be able to at least put something near above 6 figures in terms of liquidity. Otherwise, if we throw something small in there, it's just going to get drained, and those resources and funds right now. Exactly. So those resources and funds are better right now suited to building the chain more and opening more opportunities for liquidity for it to enter. So what we've done is we still need power, right? Power coin, PWR is obviously the blockchain coin. It can only survive or have relevance in terms of price valuation on an exchange. Since it's a blockchain coin, there's no smart contract tied to it. However, every single chain has a wrapped coin version of itself, which means a smart contract that's wrapped around it, and that's the way you can use it and engage within the chain activities of transacting, buying, trading, and whatnot. So we have wrapped power on the DeFi side, but we also have to ensure that wrapped power is able to follow suit with regards to the price that's out on the exchange. So we decided to create a pair with MUSDT, mint MUSDT, and then just have it there for the sole purpose that there is an actual price valuation that is being representative across the board on the DeFi side. So then your projects that are launching on the chain can actually have the market caps and what the value of wrapped power is, because in the end of the day, one power equals one wrapped power, no matter what. So we have it following the price out on the exchange, and that way we have valuation across the board on the DeFi side. But yes, in the future, we do.
This happens with KP every now and then. We lose him, and he
It
comes
happens
back really
with
fast.
me. We've been really lucky up to this point. So I'm actually in the mountain.
There he is.
Now,
okay.
I had my wife was calling me, but yeah, long story short, we do intend to bring USDT in at a later date.
Okay, because I've already I mean, I told you my background is in yield farming. I love, personally, I love it. I'm a farmer. I love it. And I've noticed that you have two farming options at the moment. I know I have a friend here, Chain's in the chat at the moment. I know he's bringing his DGen house across. He's been showing me little snippets of that. I'm very excited about that. But so you have two farms, don't you?
Yeah,
one for Max and PoW.
Well, the farms that are there right now are basically placeholders. We haven't necessarily done anything with them yet.
Okay, I know because I've been trying.
yeah. No, I should advise our dev to kind of block that for now, or at least I think it's just there to show what it'll look like, but we haven't configured them at all just yet. We honestly, yeah, we should. It's honestly, I keep saying that, and then we never get to it because something else jumps up, and we've honestly the last 2 weeks it's just been nonstop for both of us. So and our devs. So I'll be sure to get something up today on that.
Amazing.
With that said, we are going to work on the farms and pools and stuff, and hopefully have something very soon.
Yeah, very soon. When?
I hate to give dates unless I can provide more. Are
we talking normal days, or are we talking like Spanish days, which is about a week for each day, or are we talking deeper?
My day's been going live since July 31st, so I haven't stopped the day since then. So I don't know. It could be a little while.
So could this be imminent is what I'm asking within the next week or so? I don't want to
I won't promise anything for the next week, but I can at least safely say, let's say by within the next 2 weeks I hope to have something up for the pools and farms.
Hey, you heard it here. Within the next 2 weeks. Right, I'm going to be in the chat. When?
I'm putting that at the top of my list.
Yeah, we have.
I want to bring it back because I said that I wasn't going to keep you guys here for too long tonight.
No, it's fine. I'm okay for a little bit longer. I know we were talking.
All right, good. I want to get some questions from the community. I have got a couple more questions myself, but whilst I'm asking them, can you now give the community their password so that they can get their all their stuff uploaded in their Google Forms, and then I'll start, once I've finished asking my questions, I'll start picking some of the interesting ones out of what's sent into us. So a password, please.
Okay, so the password will be extra, but the word extra is spelled XTRA.
extra. Okay, you heard it. That's XTRA. You have 10 minutes, so it's 34 minutes past 7 UTC. I have to go backwards 2 hours and plus 2 hours. Very confusing. So I'd be generous. I'd say you've got until 5 to 8 to get your forms uploaded, get your questions in. Think of something interesting. Think of something that we haven't already talked about. If you can't think of anything that's interesting or clever, do not copy pasta bounty hunter bullshit, because I hate it. I'll just delete you. You won't even be in the competition. You won't even be in the random if you do that. Think of it. If you can't think of something clever or interesting, think of something funny and just upload that. And who knows, if it's funny, if it makes me giggle, I'll probably read it out. And you never know, if it makes the boys laugh, they might pick it. What I'll do, once I've asked, I'll probably ask about 5 questions, depending on what we get. And then afterwards, I'll send them over to you guys so that you can pick your favorite one. And we'll announce the winners sometime tomorrow. We always do it like that, just to make sure that we get legitimate people in there. Not interested in having stupid, bloated voice chats with 60 or 70 people running multiple accounts that have no interest in what we're talking about. So big up all of you guys that are here. I see a lot of familiar face. Like, yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's really good. Right, enough of my waffle. Back to the interesting stuff. So inflation. Can you talk us through what your block rewards are at the moment? I think most people are familiar, well, okay, ish, with block rewards for Bitcoin and Ethereum and other chains. Yeah. But can you talk us through a little bit about where your emissions are right now, what your block rewards are, and how you're going to control that inflation?
Yeah, so we minted our pre-mined supply was 1 billion coins, and we decided, you know, we had a couple different variations of it, and ultimately we decided we're going to burn 60% of it and have 400 million, you know, start in terms of once we go live. In terms of the minting process, the mining process, there's 5 coins mined per block minted. 5 coins minted per block mined, and so that's about every 15 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. So I think in a day it's about 20 something. KP knows better than me because I think he knows this number. About 20,000 coins a day that get mined. 28,000. There you go. So 28,000 mined per day. But for us to combat that, all of our on-chain utilities that have been produced by the Max team, so the Max swap, the bridge, the pools, farms, everything, you know, is going to generate a little bit of revenue through the transactional fees. And a portion of those fees are going to go towards using that power coin and burning them. So we have a whole bunch of different areas in which that's going to combat that, and we do anticipate that once we hit, you know, a decent amount of revenue for the chain, we'll be able to kind of match that daily burning, minting and burning process. So it kind of stays relative. You know, starting with 400 million, even if we want to go up to the 1 billion supply, that's a lot that needs to be mined without having any burn mechanism against it. I do believe that as we move forward, as the chain grows, we'll be able to burn more of the supply. We do have quite a large treasury that we're keeping for now, and you know, there's always room for us to burn more from different areas if need be. We plan that strategically in hopes of that's what we want to do. Even the Max tokens themselves, even though the power coin is going to be given as staking rewards, 10% of that is held back to help provide burn for power coin as well as the Max tokens themselves. So anything we do, we're always looking to deflate the supply through what we do there while rewarding holders. So and we're always going to see some new things that come up to kind of help that as well. And I'm trying to think if there's any other actions there that I'm missing. KP, you want to add something to that?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up. Basically, I mean, we can dive further deeper into the tokenomics side, or at least the distribution of the various pots of supply. We've broken everything up. We actually posted the other day a complete list of all the wallets and all the power that is in them, and which one is what and what representative of it is, in terms of, like, whether it's for treasury or whether it's we have an incubator program that we're putting together with GemPad, which GemPad is adding MaxxChain and PowerCoin natively into their launchpad for pre-sales. We are tying an incubator program there, that if there are exceptional projects that have gone through the entire process of KYC and completely transparent with regards to who they are and what they are looking to bring and launch
Like
on chain.
Max. Sorry, I just wanted to
Yes.
pick them up because
Safu Max is a fantastic. Yeah, they're a great project. Obviously, we have not completely yet established the incubator program, but it will be going live. And yeah, for any future projects that are going to be coming on chain and doing the pre-sales through GemPad, there will be an opportunity for those projects to actually earn some liquidity, some LP and power as a form of assistance, in addition to whatever they decide to raise in their pre-sales. So, we have allocated a certain portion of the power supply there. We have power supply as a treasury. We have power set aside for the exchanges. We have power set aside for provisions for liquidity. We have also power for the team wallet, which the team wallet is vested for 2 years, and it is on a monthly release schedule, on a 2-month release schedule. So basically, every 2 months, a portion of it gets released to all the various team members, all the way down to mods, and the allocations that we've done that have everybody that has pitched in to help us on their own time without asking for anything. So, we feel 2 years puts us right in the middle of a potential bull run. So I feel like that has given us, shows the ability that we are here for the long term. And we posted all the wallets in our Telegram, so we ensure that everybody could just, for all those blockchain investigator forensics individuals, looking for their 0.1 that just 0.1 coin that just left this wallet, and why. Here you go, knock yourself out, track them, make love to them. I don't care what you do to them, just there you go. And if anything is moving, you will let you know for what and where. So, I mean, we've learned a thing or two, and I think transparency is one of the biggest things that has always been a question of topic, right?
Transparency and trust,
right.
massive, and they go hand in hand. They're different sides of the same coin, absolutely. And accountability, of course.
Exactly. So, I mean, we've done a pretty good job with regards to the distribution of the entire supply. But, as of right now, we're also keeping it limited. A lot of that supply that we're holding in all those different wallets, even our treasury, our treasury is there, really, to be honest with you, like, only if we down the road have any engagement with a VC that could provide us an opportunity for potential growth. And even then, I'm very sketchy, because I hate giving coins to anybody whatsoever. I'd rather give them equity if they want to be going, if they want to lay in bed with us and help us grow. I need more than just like ask me for token allocation, right? But yeah, I mean, that treasury is going to basically collect dust for quite some time until that opportunity arises. And then, as far as all the other allocations with regards to the incubator, the provisions, all that stuff is supposed to go towards, liquidities, where the power coin is getting locked, and it's not like just handed off where it can be sold.
Amazing. All right, I'm not gonna go too much into the tokenomics anymore, because your documentation is so good. And like you said, and I have experience being in your community. If people want to know all of you've already answered all of this stuff, and it's one of the reasons that I'm looking at this like this could be something really cool. I mean, I've said it a couple of times already, real BSC vibes with the way that people are building over there. And then, I'm looking at it going, because I remember when Matic was a few cents, and we all know what happened, what was it about 250. I know it's come down a bit now, but still compared to where it started off, same, you know, like if you can manage that inflation and keep getting people in adopting and building on top of your chain, which is why I'm so bullish, because I see so much happening already right from the get-go. It's very, very different to my experience in many other chains. But I mean,
well, I can tell you this. I mean, you know, behind the scenes, when I are discussing what's the ultimate goal of what we're doing here, yes, I mean, you know, in the end of the day, we're not doing it just to be another little tiny blockchain. You know, I'd like to wake up one day in the next bull run and be, you know, having that same conversation I had in the previous bull run. Like, hey, did you buy Matic 2 years ago, or did you buy Solana, or did you buy Polygon? Because, you know, those blockchains exploded in that bull run, and you know, they're top 20, you know, top 10, top 20 blockchains right now. So, you know, why can we not be the next one? So
DeFi is quiet at the moment. You just got all the same money circulating, and it's, you know, it's just a game of cat and mouse, really. And the thing is that the daddy of all EVMs, ERC20, gas is relatively cheap right now. But we all know as soon as we start heading into the next cycle, and well, you know, after the next halvening, when things, we can say definitely there's going to be another bull run, because the supply shock will hit and everything will go crazy. And then when we get back into gas wars, when you're looking at, you know, $100, $200, $500 to do one single transaction on ETH, people are going to be looking for other chains to do stuff, and they're going to be going to the chains that are active. They're actually doing stuff, and that is where I'm looking. You know, this isn't a shit coin. This isn't. I'm not looking at this like, oh, I'm going to make a load of money right now. I mean, you never know. You might do. You might get lucky on one of the projects that's building over there. That's always possible. These things happen. But for the chain itself, for your ecosystem, for power and Max, and the way that all meshes together, I can't say that I fully understand it, but what you've explained to me tonight, I love it. I absolutely love it.
And speaking of gas fees, I mean, you know, I mean, it's relatively still early, but
like PoW.
No, actually, it's even better than that. So PoW right now is roughly a penny in terms of price, and the gas fee for a transaction is 0.00023. So that's 4 zeros after the 0.23 power. So what is that, like? PoW right now, if you own PoW, which is 1 penny, you could probably do maybe 10,000 transactions.
That's mental. That's cheaper than Matic when that first went live. And that was ridiculous. I mean, like, yeah,
it's basically free. and even if we see growth, you know, at levels of Ethereum, you know, and let's say power is $1,000, even at that level or whatever it is, you know, you're only talking about a couple bucks versus the gas fees that you see on the ETH. So yeah, I mean, in terms of gas, we are definitely positioned quite well. Obviously, we are proof of work, so we do fall under, you know, the same question that has always been asked in terms of the, you know, the blockchain trilemma issue, right? Scalability, interoperability, and security. And obviously, you know, the scalability portion will be something that we will have to answer with regards to, you know, the chain, but it won't come until maybe power is probably worth $1,000, and there's hundreds of thousands of transactions happening on chain daily. But I don't think anybody will complain that's here now, because if you are here now and you make it all the way to that point, then you probably will be quite well.
I've seen a couple of Jeeps in your chat, and it's really funny. Like, why price go down? Why price sideways? Why isn't it? It's like, do you even realize what it is that you're holding right now?
Right.
It's quite funny to us. I see you guys are really diplomatic. I'm not so much. It's just fuck off.
That's all about trying to help educate people and distinguish the difference of a coin and a token, right? So
yeah, exactly.
The growth cycle for a coin versus, let's say, a token is far different, and also the life cycle of a token versus a blockchain coin. So, you know, a token will probably give you X's faster, but it will also come down equally as fast. Whereas a blockchain coin, you're looking for sideways and good momentum and growth over time, rather than seeing it, you know, go crazy. And I posted this the other day in our Telegram group just to give people some perspective. And I chose Matic, and I also chose Polygon and Phantom, and I showed people the charts, and I showed them that all these blockchains launched at the previous bear of 2019. And they all went sideways for maybe a year and a half to 2 years almost, you know, with some fluctuations, maybe 200, 300, 400% up and then back down. But they did not explode until the bull run came. But all they did, those projects in those 2 years, was build, set the infrastructure, and allow it to be in prime position to capitalize on whatever exponential growth a bull market can give you as a project. So that is our goal. So I don't have a problem with the chart going sideways and giving some opportunities for people to trade it and continue to accumulate power for the ones that are smart enough, because those X's they will come as long as we keep doing what we're doing, but they won't come for quite some time, you know?
No, so. And I agree 100%. And this is the way that I see it. So, I mean, for those that are new, that maybe don't understand, a token is something that lives on top of somebody else's blockchain. A coin is the native, and the difference is that the coin does well when the chain does well. If there's activity, if there's people building, there's because people have to be using that coin to be transacting on the network. It's fundamental. So if you think the blockchain is going to do well, and I think this blockchain is going to do well, it's just me. What do I know? Just a Z-Gen chick that like been around a little while, made some, lost some, but I think this is the real McCoy from what I've experienced so far. You know, the possibilities, and of course with it, all the projects that are living on top of that chain. If the chain's doing well, the projects are doing well as well. It feeds back into itself. But
right, it's very simple. It's just standard economics, and it's the best thing I can do to explain it is you need to think of it as a country, or as a country. You have a brand new country that has no city yet, but there are people that want to build a city. And then they want to build these opportunities and bridges where they can trade with neighboring countries that are thriving. And they want to bring those opportunities for those businesses to come in and build businesses and build commerce. Because the blockchain the most important thing is the economic activity that happens within it, which means the amount of volume and trading and transacting of that native coin. The higher the demand of the economic activity within the chain, the more demand for the coin, thus the price appreciation that you'll see. So it's no more different than just going out in the Wild West and then throwing up a town and asking people to come and actually build together. So
I love that analogy, KP. That's so cool. And this is it. You know, is this town? Do you think it's going to flourish and become a city, a metropolis, all this stuff? Are people going to want to live there? Are people going to want to work there? And this is what I'm looking at. I think yes, but this is you do you, I do me. Go and do your research, and this is why we have these spaces. This is why we have these conversations, so you can feel it out for yourself and see what's going on. Right, one more question for me, because we've been here for quite a while. I usually like to keep these things to about an hour, no longer than an hour and a half, but I knew that was going to be impossible because of the scope of what you're bringing to us. You know, there is, and I think we could be here all night and we wouldn't cover all the aspects of your project, your chain, and what you're presenting to us, what you're bringing to us. But really caught my attention was your Ignite QR mechanism, which is, from what I understand, you know, and I absolutely love it. So this is your marketing, if you like. Everybody that's active on the chain are going to be your marketers. Can you share a little bit? Can you speak to that a little bit and explain to the community what the fuck it is that I'm going on about?
Yeah,
Nine,
so,
you want to take that?
yeah, sure. So Ignite QR is a marketing tool, and it's actually a separate marketing, I guess, business and company that KP and myself are a part of. We're going to be using it on MaxxChain, as well as our Max tokens on MaxxChain, as well as on the BSC and Ethereum sides. So basically what it is, it's a Web3 platform in which projects can actually get their tokens listed there. So whether they want to list their own tokens, or let's say BUSD as rewards, or whatever it is, they can set it up there. The interesting part is where you know, we have, as it is today, when people go to, let's say, these AMAs and different call groups and so on and so forth, and people are like, oh, you know, I'm the best call group, I'm the best this, I'm the best that, and there's no way of really quantifying what return you actually get through different AMAs and call groups and so on and so forth. But what this tool will do will allow you to purchase, let's say, a token for a project that's listed on Ignite QR, and Max will be listed there. So you purchase Max, and as soon as you purchase Max, you get a QR code. And that QR code you can distribute to anybody and everybody you know. So let's say you go to a call group and you say, okay, well, I'll do an AMA with you guys. I want you guys to create a purchase tokens, and you'll have your own QR code. Distribute them to your community, and let's see what you actually bring. And as they share that QR code, other people can just scan the QR code. It opens up the token project in the Ignite QR app, and just allows them to connect their wallet and purchase directly. No need for contracts, no need for anything else. It's a fairly seamless procedure for any individual that scans the QR code. And then as soon as the purchase is made, whoever's QR code that is, they get a referral bonus based on what the project, you know, signs up for. So I mean, if it's tokens, if it's BUSD, the more people you bring in, the more you're going to receive as your reward. So now we see all these shilling efforts, you know, on Twitter. They block chats and kind of force the community to shill on Twitter. Well, this is a new way of doing it, and you're incentivized to do it because you're going to get a reward for it. So there's a lot of different applications that the team is looking at, and we're excited to bring this to MaxxChain as well, because not only will it benefit the Max tokens themselves, but we'll be able to kind of use this as a tool for other projects launching on chain that want to spread the word.
Amazing. You know what my next question is going to be? When Jesse DJ's QR code?
So
I can't wait.
now, actually, we've been in the testing phase for a while. There's a couple of hiccups there on that slide, but we actually have. We were just talking to devs, and the testing platform is up, and we're going to be testing that for a little while to make sure everything is working as it should, and doing any quick last minute changes if need be. And as soon as that's completed, I mean, I'm not sure on the timeline on that, whether if we're talking, you know, a couple weeks or a couple months, but we'll keep the community updated on that front.
Amazing. And this is another one of the things that I noticed, because I mean, okay, you can have the best tech in the world, you can have great community, but if you haven't got a way to get that message out, get other people in, and reward people, you know, it's in my mind, it looks like a viral marketing kind of strategy, and people are literally getting rewarded on how many people they can bring into the ecosystem. So like yeah, sounds amazing. And if you need a beta tester, I'm here. Just saying. Always open to beta testing.
I think we do have a closed group, I think, that we're going to be testing with, but if we do need to involve you know, the community members, I'll be sure to reach out to you first.
Let me in. I want to be in your close group. We'll talk afterwards. Right. Let's get into some of the questions from the community. I'm going to ask them in no particular order apart from one. I've just scanned through them. There's like big out, you guys have asked some really, really good questions tonight. It's been quite difficult for me to pick the best ones. So I'm going to go for the simplest one first, which is really to the point. So this person wants to know, what's the purpose in creating this project?
So there's a couple answers to that. I mean, you know, we started as a token on chain. We had no intention of becoming the blockchain, let's say. But you know, we told you our story and where we came from and how we got here, and a lot of it was kind of a necessity in a sense to kind of stay afloat. You know, we could have allowed the rug to kind of stop us and, you know, just go back to becoming investors. But then KP and myself decided, hey, look, you know, we've seen a lot of this. We can actually make a difference here to help other people and ensure that, not ensure, we can ensure that there's going to be no rugs in the space, but we can do the best that we can to create a community that looks out for each other, and a community that helps other projects, because projects launching on chain, really on Ethereum and BSC, I mean, unless they have a community, that's all they have. If you talk to every project launching on chain, we have a group chat with everybody, and it might come a day where, you know, there's too many, but we'll just grow our team. And our point here is to help projects and bring the ones with interest and utility out into the spotlight. We're not going to let them, you know, stay under the rafters and just you know, have them try to do their own thing. It's a community effort to make this better, and it's really about knowledge and accessibility. You know, there's a small percentage of the world's population that's in cryptocurrency right now, and a lot of it, I think, has to do with accessibility. People just, you know, when I talked about my SafeMoon example, people don't want to jump through hoops to get through that. So eventually, one day, we want to make sure that people are it's easy for people to jump into crypto if they want. And then the knowledge base, so many people even today that have been here for years don't know a lot of things. So our knowledge base is filled with so much information to help users of any type of skill level to expand their knowledge. So a lot of things we want to touch on here, but I mean, you know, we do this for ourselves, for the community, and to try to make the space a little bit more, you know, safer and accessible.
Great answer. And yeah, you know, like sometimes the shortest questions are the best, but yeah, perfect. And very much so. What you just touched on it there. I think I read the other day that less than 5% of the world's population actually understands even what crypto is, let alone hold any crypto, let alone invested in DeFi and doing all the amazing stuff that we're doing here. I say it all the time. DeFi is a work in progress. It's moving very, very quickly. We're building the financial infrastructure of tomorrow, today, and it is the Wild West. We're the pioneers. We're the guinea pigs. Those that survive, those that make it. And this is why I'm looking and thinking, this could be really good. This could be really, really good. Right, on to the next question. Enough of my waffle. So this person wants to know, as an EVM Layer 1 proof of work blockchain network, are there any functionalities that you're going to implement to reduce bugs and copy pasta scam contracts in order to keep the users and their investments safe? So they're wanting to know, we haven't really talked very much about security. I know you're audited and all that good stuff, but is there anything that you're going to be doing? Because you know, and is there anything that you can do? I don't know. Because like BS Binance scam chain, I mean, ERC20 is not much better by this point. Arbitrum, Polygon, like, I mean, yeah, okay. Is there anything that you can do to stop that?
And that's the truth. I mean, you know, there's always going to be those that scam and those that create projects that look great to just really, you know, take the money out and run away with it, and that's always going to happen. We can't guarantee to our platform to be rug free. We can't guarantee any and every project on here to be, safe. If you look, just a few days ago, there was a project that was going through a pre-sale, and we found out that that project was a copy and paste from another project on Ethereum network. And we approached them, I approached them, we approached them, other members approached them, and it came together in the group. And yeah, some power was lost, but that what I meant, my message to the group was that this is what helps, because people talk in DMs, but if we bring it to light and work together as a community, we'll be able to catch this sooner rather than later. Is it going to happen? Yes. Are we going to put stuff in place to kind of not talk about other projects? No. This is DeFi. It's decentralized. It's meant to be anonymous to a certain degree, and if people are going to remain anonymous, it's up to the investors in the end that click on that button to buy, to do their research. But what we can do as a chain is provide the tools to help them make those decisions. So for example, within our Max swap, we have a token sniffer that's embedded into the swap. So when you enter a contract, the token sniffer is going to go through it and give you a bunch of information saying, is it a honeypot? What are the taxes? And is there anything that you should be concerned about?
That's what that is. I've seen it.
Yes. So,
That's
little
amazing.
things like that. We're always looking at interesting ways to try to integrate that into what we have here. Is it perfect? No, but will it help, the user in the end? I think so. And I think, when Base started a couple weeks ago, for example, I remember people talking about it, and I put my hand in it too. But like, you're putting in contracts blindly, hoping it's the right one into the swap, and you don't know much about it. And it turns out, well, you're looking for the Pepe on that, but there's like 5 different Pepe contracts, which is the one that you look for, So it's a work in progress. It's not something that we can completely say, we're 100% safe, but our community is open in the sense that people can ask about projects and say, okay, well, what's, anybody know this project? What's going on here? I'd like to encourage that. I don't want there to be a straight open shilling, but conversations like that are very important to have. And I think, again, it's just all of us working together to find the safe ones in the space.
Yeah, and I just want to
Amazing,
jump in
amazing.
here
Yeah.
and just say that it is impossible to have a 100% rug-proof free environment, right? I mean, obviously, the day that we succeed at that is going to be a glorious day. But in order for us to figure out how to combat and reduce the error of rugs, let's say on our chain, it's all about trying to change behavior, investment behavior, or people that are looking to ape into something, and maybe provide an opportunity for them for reorganizing their best practices, right? Whereas, let's say if you're using a swap like Pancake Swap, and you want to try to be more cautious before aping into something, you're gonna use this token sniffer somewhere else, but then you become complacent because you're rushing to get in before everybody else gets in because there's a frenzy and the hype, and then you get sucked into the emotions, and then all of a sudden, right? So for us, it's like, okay, well, let's try to embed the token sniffer into our swap, so we at least put it at the very last line of defense. Look, this guy wants to ape into this. He just scanned the contract into our swapper. Here's the information right in your face. Please read it and learn to use that extra step in the process before hitting swap. If you see that there's X amount of flags on the functions of the contract, and there's a bunch of red stuff everywhere in the way the token sniffer reads everything, perhaps stop, investigate, and rethink whether you should ape or not. So it's a matter of just bringing that like accessibility of information as close as possible to the event. So in the end of the day, we're not the ones that click buy. All of us are responsible for clicking buy ourselves.
Absolutely. Will you make the code for the sniffer available to other dexes when they come online?
Well, this is a collaboration with a dev that built a project for this project called Quick Intel. So it is his own token sniffer that we have integrated in and collaborated to bring it to our chain. His code is probably not open source, so obviously they would have to reach out to him, to provide, get that service
if another dev wants to do, you know, something with regards to it. But that's fine, because in the end of the day, the other thing that we like to promote within our chain is innovation. Without innovation, there's no competition, because we do need competition within the chain for it to actually create demand and opportunity for, you know, that economic activity that I was talking about earlier. So, you know, collaborations between devs and innovation is important to us. So obviously, you know, anytime that token sniffer perhaps may seem like a valuable resource that somebody else is building on chain and wants it, we'll make the connections, and then from there they can decide how they want to proceed, you know.
That's great. So I'm like that as well. I love connecting people. I love bringing good people in DeFi together. So you will be Cupid when Chain, for example, brings Degen House over Chain. I know you're listening. Like, hey, meet the dev that's got this token sniffer, or maybe you can think of your own version of it. I think it's such a cool idea, and it's something that I've not seen before in other dexes. I mean, maybe it does exist, but I've never seen that before. So big up for that. And that's really good, much needed as well. Let's hope people pay heed to it when it starts chucking up all those red flags and saying, "This is sus as fuck." Probably a honeypot, and you're probably going to get rugged at the same time. Okay, let's go on to the next question. So this one, we haven't actually really, I think you touched on it a little bit, but it's a good question about the Lotto Max platform. Will you get Lotto license just to be on the safer side? So, okay. Well, so firstly, do you want to talk a little bit about your Lotto Max platform, and are you going to comply with regulations and license and stuff like that, or this is DeFi, is pure and no?
Yeah, so in a sense, it is DeFi, of course, but I am definitely looking back into that before deployment to make sure, you know, our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. We're in the process of being registered as a business in the Bahamas, so we're looking at everything to make sure everything is good in that regard. But in terms of the LottoMax utility itself, so basically it's a lottery platform. It's kind of similar to, you know, there are a lot of lotteries out in the world. I mean, over here actually in Canada, it's coincidentally called LottoMax as well, where you select a few numbers from 3 numbers out of a possible 30, and then every week there's a drawing for 3 numbers, and if you match all 3, you win the pot. So it's meant to be instead of having like kind of like a raffle, it's more of a, you know, you actually choose your own destiny in terms of picking the numbers. You have more control of it, and I feel like that provides a little bit more excitement for the people that do play it.
So people can say, I want my birthday and my daughter's birthday and my dad's birthday, and put those numbers together and then feed them into the thing. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So you know, you purchase tickets, and you can purchase as many as you like, and then basically there's that weekly drawing, and we have it set up so that there is there, no matter what, there's always a weekly winner. We don't want to have, you know, 4 or 5 draws where there's no winner, and then people kind of feel discouraged at that. So we'll always make sure we'll have an oracle and process to make sure that the numbers are randomly generated, and a winner is always found. And then basically that is going to be the weekly prize pools will be fed through a 1% of the taxes across the chains, as well as ticket sales. And there is also a new addition to that, which I had just, you know, provided today. There's a token that we just deployed. I filled it with my own personal funds in terms of LP.
I was trying to ape it as when the video was on. It's like juggling messages and trying to.
Literally, I wanted to just throw it out there, and I didn't want it. I want people to understand that there's no other connection in terms of project cost that's associated to this. I just did it on my own, and the whole point of it is to put all the money that I put into it, which is $250,000, 250,000 power. I put directly into LP. 90% of the tokens are in LP, and then 10% of the tokens are kept in a side wallet that will be feeding the weekly pool. So every weekly pool, there's an extra prize pool of extra tokens. It's called extra. that will be up for grabs. So I just wanted to kind of add another type of utility for the LottoMax platform that'll help drive volume. Driving volume for the max tokens, of course, that's good for the people at stake because that means they're earning more power, and it just helps drive the ecosystem a little bit more, while at the same time having a no tax token that will be renounced, and with no previous holders to worry about, will just ensure free trading on the chain for people that want to enjoy free trading with no taxes. So whatever happens there happens, and I just wanted to have that to bring
Number
volume
might
to
go
the
up a
chain.
lot, but because I haven't it yet.
Sorry?
I'm going to shoot it hard as soon as I've aped it. That's the way it works, right? But seriously, guys, Nayan dropped it earlier. It's like, what the fuck? Stop it! I can't juggle this show and aping stuff at the same time. I did try. Queen of DJs for a reason, right? Okay, let's get into the last but one question. The last question is not really a question for you guys, it's a question for me, but I'm going to read it out and answer it anyway because it's funny. So the last one is, what's the team's marketing strategy and how do you wish to stop Jeets from dumping the token? Just imagine I convinced my dad to invest his 20k into the project. Okay, so this person wants to know, we've already talked a little bit about marketing strategy with your QR mechanism.
Yeah, to add a little bit to that, I mean, we do have a couple marketing plays in the background that we did prior to launch. I mean, we did the PR articles, we did AMAs and stuff like that on the Telegram side. We are trying to focus a little bit more on the Web2 side and trying to increase our reach on different platforms. Twitter is going to be a big factor for us, and I'm really happy with our Twitter activity so far. We don't want to throw away money because the thing is that we're completely crowdfunded, right? We have no VC in here that's injected $1 million or anything to help us, move forward. All of this has been community funded. So everything in terms of building the blockchain, all the dApps, everything across the board, the listings, everything we did, we've been very frugal with every dollar we spent, and we want to continue to do it that way. But we're happy with what we have so far, and our goal right now is to continuously talk to projects and utilities and hopefully use those methods to bring new people on board. If I start talking to people randomly trying to sell them on it, you don't know what their end goal is. But I mean, if you do sell it on a project and they have a community of a couple hundred members, and then they decide, okay, well, you know what, we're going to launch on this chain as well. Now all of a sudden they're talking to all their holders, and if their holders come in and say, oh, this is cool, then it just branches out. So KP and myself, our goal is to just keep talking to projects and talking to other providers like Blockblend, Gempad, stuff like that will help increase our marketing footprint.
I love it because I see it all too often, and it happened to me with the first project that I managed as well because I was so green. I didn't know, but it's so easy to waste money on shit marketing. Everybody's, oh yeah, calls this is that, the banner ads or whatever else it is, and 99% of it's absolute bullshit. So it's so nice to hear you taking that approach and using that money really wisely. And at the end of the day, the QR Ignite thing that you're doing, for me, that's the best. So the best marketing is when it comes from the community, and you actually bring people into the community and grow that community, because that has the potential to go really viral, doesn't it? So the second part of that question is a fun part. How are you gonna punish Jeets? How are you gonna stop Jeets cheating? How are you gonna stop all the
look, if you look at it, I mean, I'm a numbers guy, I'm an accountant, and I'm paying attention, and KP pays attention to this too. We look at the number of tokens in coins in circulation, what's sitting in CoinStore, what isn't sitting in CoinStore. And I think, looking at CoinStore, I think there's about 5 million coins on CoinStore, which means that, A lot of people are either looking there to trade, they're just holding it there, they don't want to hold it on DeFi, or they're looking for a way out or whatever it is, and the rest of the coins that are in circulation are on the DeFi side, which is where we want it. We're keeping watching the charts, and I did put a message out about it today because, like you said, a lot of people are complaining about people selling and this and that. And look, they have every right to. At the same time, when they purchase power during the pre-sales, I mean, I think everybody had an opportunity to purchase during pre-sale. I know not, our pre-sale one sold out in under 30 seconds, but pre-sale two, I'd like to say everybody had an opportunity to get in at a great deal. And at that point, what BNB was $250, close to, and now BNB's under 210. So BNB's gone down just as much, when maybe not just as much, but it's gone down quite a bit as well. So it's kind of following the overall markets, and we're trying to do what we can to keep that pressure, and we're not too concerned with the pricing on the chart just yet, because we have 5-6 projects that have launched on chain. We just got CoinGecko Gecko Terminal a few days ago. CoinGecko's in the middle of putting our Power coin listed up on their charts. I've applied for CMC and stuff, Dex Tools and Dex Screener. We should hopefully have that soon. So a lot of different avenues that are coming in terms of spotlighting us, and all these other partnerships are just going to help put more pressure on as well, because people that purchase during pre-sale, they're holding their coins to invest in projects, and some of them have purchased LP, so a lot of that can be tied to LP as well. But all these other projects that are going to be coming on chain now, they need to purchase LP. Where are they going to do it? On the CEX. So if people that got these airdrops for Max wanted to get out, I'd rather them get out now at this price versus when we're 10x higher than here. Just let the market do what it wants to do, and then we keep growing and keep moving.
Amazing, great answer, thank you. Okay, so last question, I'm going to read it because, it's no secret when I'm kind of like this. When I find something that I like, I tend to go all in. That's my handle, Queen of DJs, because who knew? I'm losing my earring now. So this last part, this last question, bless the person, I don't recognize him over. Why is Jesse so obsessed with Max? Keep asking when Max everywhere in crypto space. I'll speak to that. I'll tell you why. For all of the reasons that we've heard here tonight, genuine people, a community building something that is, as I see it, for the people, by the people, for the people. I'm a fan. I'm bullish because I see a chain developing here, and it's early days, but I think I can already spot a gem in that everything that's already been built. This is the opposite way round from the way that chains usually work. And I see the people over there as well. I've been around the blockchain a little while, and I see the people that are invested. I don't just mean have money in the chain, but are invested in building on the chain. And that's massive. That's absolutely massive. So that's why. So you're gonna have to get used to it, because I have a big mouth, and I'm in. I'm all in.
I love it.
I'm gonna do this well.
I'm happy.
I think this can do well. I'm a fan, and seriously, I can't wait to get my hands on my QR code, because I'm gonna be working. I'm gonna be working for it. I want to be part of this community. This is exciting to me. This is the way that DeFi should be. It's decent. It's true. It's decentralized. There's no big people controlling stuff here. This is literally organic from the ground, being built from the ground up. To me, it's really exciting. It's the true promise of DeFi. So yeah, that's the answer to the question that Jen decided to fire at me. Okay, we're going to wrap up now, because we've been here for quite a while, and I don't believe in dragging these things out. I think if people have more questions and they're genuinely interested, go over to MaxxChain chat. You know, even if you're not investing, go and talk to them. It's a really cool community, and like the guys are there 24/7. It's amazing. And I want to say this. I go in your chat and I see somebody ask a question, you know, and I've asked questions, and I see 6 or 7 people, individual people, not mods, people from the community, just stepping in and answering questions and genuinely trying to help each other. This is why I think that this could be something, because you have that community, and that's so important. It's fundamental in this thing, and then everything else that we've talked about tonight is very, very cool. So that's my little summing up here tonight. I mean, I could go on for a lot longer, but yeah, I'm fucking bullish as fuck on there. So especially when we go into the next cycle. You know, if you guys carry on with this momentum and this enthusiasm and passion and keep building this thing, oh my God, what could this be? Like, because we're talking at least 18 months in my mind before we start really seeing that supply shock hit and demand rise up and the FOMO kick in and the parabolic numbers and everything going crazy. But like, as you've built all of this in such a short amount of time, my mind is like really lit with where this is going to be, how established you can be for the next liquidity rush, which will be the next true cycle and bull run. Is there anything that, and I'm sure there's lots of things, but is there anything that's really burning and critical that you haven't already talked about tonight that you want to mention before we wrap up?
Honestly, I think we've gone through a lot, but you know, we can go on for hours, KP and I. But I just want to let the community know here. You know, if you guys ever have any questions within the Jesse chat, just tag me. I'll be sure to answer it. You can DM me, DM KP. Like you said, you know, our community is great. And they help out with a lot of questions and answers. And please check out our website, Knowledge Base. There's so much there. I can almost guarantee almost anybody going in there, you'll learn something new from what we put up there. And we try to update it as much as possible and add new content.
Amazing. Right. So I want to thank you guys. Thank you for coming over. I know how amazingly busy you are, and like we had this set up for Friday, but like obviously it was a big ask and it was very lastminute.com. But I'm so glad that it didn't have everything in my mind just happened just the way that it should, because we've had time to sit down and really dig into what you've got here and do a good job of presenting it. And you guys present really well. Like I mean, and this is for me really bullish as well. So I just want to say thank you, both of you, Nayan and KP, for being such fantastic guests tonight. So easy to talk to, and you know, presenting. Sometimes I have people in and it's like pulling teeth. It's not been like that with you guys. It's been a real pleasure. So thank you, and to our community as well. Thank you so much. I know some of you are waiting to try and win some shiny. I'll get those questions that I've asked over to the guys and they can pick one and all that kind of stuff. So I want to give you guys the last words, and I say this to everybody that comes into the show. If there's, because let's have it right, bunch of monkeys, pea brain, 2 brain cells, maybe both of them working at the same time on a good day. So if there's just one thing, if people don't remember anything else from tonight, if there's just one thing that you would want people to go away thinking about, what would that be?
My part, and 9 can take it after me, but no, I just want people just to remember, you know, that crypto really was established and birthed out of necessity with regards to community decentralization and, you know, your keys, your money, that whole notion of basically feeling empowered with your own decisions on, you know, whatever amount you decide you're investing, whether it's $10 or more than that, into this space. We decided to set up this project to bring it back to the roots of what crypto was all about with regards to it being proof of work.
a decentralized ecosystem that is continuously going to flourish and enrich itself. And it's only going to happen by everybody's participation. There is no way that this is a project that is basically solely responsible for success because it's Nine or myself, but it's basically everybody from a user to a project that we're bringing together to all work together in one unit, one force, to be able to bring something different, or at least bring something back to what crypto was intended to be in the first place. So that is the environment that we're trying to foster, and we would love to have you be part of that.
I think we lost you there, KP.
I heard him. I don't know if others did as well, but I heard what he said, and
Okay.
and yeah, no, echo exactly what KP said. You know, we're bringing this back to we want to bring this back to its roots. You know, crypto is made to be decentralized, and I think that's why, you know, we've gone with this type of chain, proof of work, you know, it's low cost, and a lot of other people can say the same thing when they deploy a layer 1 proof of work chain, just like we have. But the difference between those chains and us is us. I don't think you'll see two guys like myself and KP work as hard as we have the past few months to get where we are, and we're going to keep pushing. We're gonna focus on the community. We're gonna focus on projects, and we're gonna focus on helping each other achieve those goals. You know, we know what we're strong at and where our weaknesses are, and we'll find the right guys to make sure we have, you know, the best in each different area in each niche to get us where we need to be.
Amazing. So I just want to, I can't do it, can I? I have to have the last word. Which is what you guys are saying there about, and that's it. That's what's got me. I feel it. I sense it. I see it. I smell it. Bringing DeFi back to the original vision of the cypherpunks. You know, creating an equal and fair playing field that everybody can transact on, and everybody can have an equal part in. Without bounds, state-imposed government boundaries and all that kind of rubbish that goes with it. I really feel that. I really sense that. So, look, thank you so much. Remember, well, you're not going to forget about me because I'm a big mouth. When I get going, I don't stop, and I am like really lit on this. So you can count me as one of your community now. And remember where we are as well. And please remember that when you reach any milestones or you have anything going on, whether it's fun or opportunities to make bank or whatever it is, please remember where we are and be friends. You're always welcome in Jesse Degens. So drop your stuff anytime you like. Come and visit us. And you can be sure I'll be coming over and visiting you often as well. Anyway, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, I'm gonna mute up now for a little while and get the Degens that got their bits in. Names into a spin the wheel. I'll try and do it the right way this time and get it right the first time. I'll put some music on. I'll come back in about 10 or 15 minutes once we've done the boring bits, and we'll spin the wheel and decide who wins those 3 lots of $10 that the boys have brought over with them. So, yeah, right. Thank you. Bye. See you in a minute. Thanks.